Making a great radio show, but it's just not getting listened to. Want to reach more people with proven results. In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 essential tips to get more people listening to your radio shows and get you more discoverability on that show. It's a new year and you want to level up what you're doing as a DJ. And DJs, I'm focusing on you this week. In today's video, I'm going to look at how to improve your radio shows, your podcasts, those weekly series you've started either on SoundCloud or Mixcloud, and how to level them up and how to get more people listening to them. So, you want to get more listeners on your SoundCloud or your Mixcloud show. And as I said, this could be a radio show, it could be a podcast, it could be a weekly series. For me, they're all under the same banner. In today's video, I'm going to break it down 5 ways to get more listeners. But before that, I want to talk about the importance of having one if you're not doing it already. For those DJs that have been thinking about starting a show, it's a great time. And if you look at the bigger artists, they are all investing in radio shows, so they must be worth it. Big artists and record labels all have regular shows that they're doing. Radio shows and podcasts are first and foremost great practice for you as DJs. So if you're really brand new, this is a great place to hone your craft and hone your skills. It gets you DJing regularly. It also gives you an output for your music and what you're about as a DJ. Secondly, the great thing about radio shows is you can tag other artists and other record labels in that post when you start talking about the content around the radio show, what music you're playing, and you can tag others so you'll say you're supporting them, which creates great peer connections. One of our data transmission radio hosts who's had a show with us for 3 years, he's been doing that for the 3 years, and he told me on my group call in my course, The Artist Blueprint, because he's also a member of our course, and this has led to him getting a really big remix opportunity for this year because he's been supporting a certain artist for those 3 years, and they built that relationship via kind of them commenting back and saying thanks, and then the DMs started, and now that's built up to him getting these massive opportunities for remixes on the artist as they're trying to drop their brand new album, which is massive for him. If you're struggling to get gigs, having a radio show could be leverage you need to open a door to a promoter or a resident that plays at the promotion. It's also your calling card and kind of what you're about. And if you're tied to a bigger brand or an online radio station, like Data Transmission Radio, for instance, this all looks good for you as an artist, and it's what you're putting forward and your best foot forward. You'll also be creating an audience for yourself of people that listen to your show and become regulars on your show. They'll be into you as a DJ, and therefore could potentially come and buy a ticket to come and see you play live. Radio shows are great for networking. If you have a show on like Data Transmission Radio, this is one of the big things about it. You can reach out via DMs and message people that you want to come on your show as a guest. Hey, would you like to come on my Data Transmission Radio show? That offers some weight as well. Data Transmission is 15 years old this year, and we've been around a long time. Do you fancy coming to do a show on my Data Transmission Radio show? All I need is a pre-recorded mix, is something you might say. This is something you are offering, and it helps with the DMs. It's not all about take. You're leading with an offer first. And this really works for networking and kind of breaking down doors and barriers. So imagine that person is the A&R for a record label you really want to get signed to, or the resident to the DJ of the party you want to play at. That connection you built is going to be great for networking, and it's great to kind of, like I said, break down those barriers. The other thing about having a radio show is being able to connect to festival and club promoters. At Data Transmission, we send some of our radio show hosts as our kind of media coverage for festivals. And some of our radio presenters are creating pieces of content, firstly, to promote the event. We're then sending them to the show to do interviews live, which means they get a backstage pass and a press pass, which means they get to go and meet other people at the event, not just the person they're interviewing. They'll meet publicists, they'll meet managers, they'll meet booking agents, because they're all in that kind of backstage area. So it really, again, it's breaking down the barriers and using what you've got as leverage. They will then make a second show after the show, which again, they're getting more content. We include in the interview, they'll then tag the artists, and again, it's making more connections. So that's the why. Right, you've started one and you're starting to get some listeners, but we want to kind of max them out. And here's my 5 ways. Number 1 is content. As you know, I'm a big fan of content and I make tons of it. So let's talk about content first. And as with anything, you are going to need a strategy for your content and a social media strategy for your content. Anything you want to push, you need content. This will go through a few stages of your radio show. The pre-content, maybe the on-air content, and the after content. Pre-show artworks that maybe the radio show or maybe you built for yourself will kind of push the awareness that it's going to happen. And you can do this via stories, and you can do this via reels and carousels. Remember, with a carousel, to break those parts up into multiple slides, because that really works on Instagram right now. Firstly, it'll be easy to read, and you'll be able to get all the information into multiple slides. Don't just post it as kind of one post. Split the information up and make it more digestible. People will slide, read. It just makes it easier for the person, which breaks down the fraction of them being able to read it, and probably will spend more time on that post. Carousels still get loads of reach, and it also means that stuff's not crammed into one frame. Think about the creation of your show. How are you making it? Can you put the camera on and film it as you're making it? Can you be making little clips as you're making it? If you're making it in software, can you still fire at the decks and do some of the clips separately, just so you've got some stuff to promote the radio show and what's going to happen in it? Could you use a site like Clipper? There's a really good site. It's called clipper.video, and I'll put the link to that below. And what that does is it turns Beatport or track source links into small videos. So what you could do is you could download the playlist of the tracks that are being played, and you could put some of that pre-out to kind of build some awareness. Again, making a carousel of those tracks. It builds awareness about the show, and then people might tune in for the actual show. Does your show air live, like on Data Transmission Radio? Can you schedule loads of tweets around your show, firstly tagging the track, the artist, the label, and then the link to listen live? You can pre-schedule all those so they just go out when your show is going out. And then with Data Transmission Radio, we actually put the Listen Again show straight live after that show's finished in. You could actually schedule another tweet to go and put to listen again. If those tweets get retweeted by either the artist or label, that's going to really push the reach of firstly your live show, but also the visibility of yourself. Going live on platforms like Instagram or Facebook or TikTok for 5-10 minutes before your show is going to start, just to build awareness it's going to start, and you're going to drive some of that live audience to where to listen now. Secondly, by you going live, that person could be in a place where they might be looking for music now. They might be getting ready to go out. They might be at an after party. They might be something where they just need some mixes. That could then drive that awareness of you. The other thing you could use live for is that kind of listen again. Go live the next day. Did you miss the show? Don't worry, you can listen again. The link is in my wherever, or comment and I'll message you the link. Did you record that video of you playing live? Well, that could go on YouTube. If you missed my video about YouTube last week, YouTube's going to be a massive platform. So recording your videos and recording your radio shows and then putting them on YouTube is all going to drive awareness to the listen again, but also that you've got a radio show in the first place. You could then redo the tweets for pushing the YouTube video. And again, that might get the retweet that pushes to the video. It also might create the connection with the label that you've been trying to get into. You also could be sharing the mix from SoundCloud to your stories to, again, drive those listen agains. And it's all about the listen agains for me when it comes to radio shows. Not many people can listen live because they are busy, or it could be at a late time. But that listen again and listening on demand is such a big thing, especially for us at Data Transmission Radio. The more you drive the listen agains, the more you're going to grow that radio show. Number 2, and this is going to lead into that, SoundCloud and Mixcloud. Like I said, listen again is huge. And the on-demand side of a radio show is the huge part of it. So pushing that listen again on either via SoundCloud or Mixcloud is really important. Try and get as many reposts as you can on that mix. Ask friends, ask other DJs. Can they repost it? Even if it's 24 hours, just to help you out with a little 24-hour repost, just so it kind of reaches their followers. And for those that don't know, on SoundCloud, the repost function is such a big function. Click repost, it opens up to their followers, which then can open up their followers and their followers and their followers. So even if they do it for 24 hours just to help you out a little bit, or you do a swap for 24 hours, that really, really helps. You could use big repost channels, and there are loads of them on SoundCloud. Just literally go on SoundCloud, search repost, or repost mix. The other thing you can do is use the playlist trick, and I speak about that in this video, and I'll link to that below to how to grow your SoundCloud streams. Always consider how much you're pushing that listen again. It's like with Netflix. You watch Netflix because it's all on demand, and you watch it in your own time. People listen to radio shows in their own time, whether at the gym, whether in the car, whether they're doing the cooking. Make sure yours is in their feed. Number 3, email, broadcast messages, WhatsApp messages. Can you use them? Building a database of people that have firstly enjoyed your radio show. So maybe in part of your show, you have enjoying this. Click the link below, sign up for you don't miss the next show. And you could host that in MailChimp really, really simply. First 2,000 subscribers are free, and it's really easy to build sign-up pages in MailChimp. On that sign-up page, you could actually include a playlist of all your radio shows if they've missed ones. You can include that call to action in the description of all your mixes, so that if people are listening to mixes and they are enjoying them, sign up so you don't miss a show. Keep it simple. If you're speaking on your show, you could use that speaking and that words to talk about the benefits of signing up to a show. Or it could be part of your social campaign to just get people to sign up. You could tell people in your shows about the benefits of signing up. Maybe it could be like guest list your shows. Maybe it could be first listens of tracks when your new release comes out. Remember, give, and it's really going to help you grow that audience. You could also make social media content about driving the sign-ups to your database. And this could sit in your content when your show's not being aired. It's always giving you a strategy. The other thing you could do is more live, is actual like broadcast messages like Telegram or WhatsApp. Building a broadcast audience is killer because you can actually say, I'm going live now, and it drops it into their messages. So if people are in a state where they want to listen to music now, you've got the link and it's driving straight to it. I find that works really well for my live streams. Number 4, using paid ads. Running campaigns on Facebook and Instagram to drive targeted fans to your show is really going to help the numbers. I'd run campaigns in Business Manager instead of just clicking boost or promote, because you're actually throwing money down the toilet if you do that. Using Business Manager to actually design campaigns around the potential audience and different types of content really can drive the reach of firstly yourself and your show, and it can actually drive people to your shows. Running ads takes time and investment and a whole lot of learning for yourself. It also takes the learning of the AI from Ad Manager to really understand who your audience is. I have a whole section about ads and running ads in my course, The Artist Blueprint, because I go in depth in it. I love running ads, and we do go in depth in it. We talk about weekly on our group calls as well. I run ads for loads of my promotions, whether it's SoundCloud, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Spotify, because I really believe in them. And if you want to talk with me more about ads and more about my course, The Artist Blueprint, I'll put a link to jump on a discovery call. It's really simple. We jump on, we chat about what you're doing now, where you want to get to. And if the bit in the middle is the course, then we talk about the course. And if we're not, then I'll give you some tips and advice to go forward. The course covers Spotify growth, SoundCloud growth, also running ads, but also kind of pushing your music and also trying to get more music signed. So if that's right for you, definitely click on the link below and let's jump on a call. Number 5, creating a Spotify playlist of the tracks in your show. A free option again once for you is Spotify playlists. And making a playlist on Spotify of the tracks that are in your show and then updating it every time you have a new show. Again, this is supporting the tracks in your show, but it's also great awareness that you firstly have a show on another platform. You can also then put the link to your show in the description of that playlist and maybe make the artwork the same as the playlist. And as you grow that playlist, it's going to also then help grow your show. I chat about the importance of having your own Spotify playlist for DJs and producers in this video, so make sure you check that out. And I'm going to make a playlist of all the videos I've mentioned in this video that you should check next. And again, I'll link to that playlist below as well. Which of those are you already doing and which are new to you? Let me know in the comments below. Or if you're doing something different and I've missed one, definitely let me know, because I'm always about learning. If you want your own show on Data Transmission Radio, then we're taking on hosts at the moment. And again, I'll put the link to the costs and the service below. And if it's right for you, click on that and use the application process. Are you making music? And if you are, you need to watch this video from me recently about how to become a successful DJ producer in 2023. It's jammed-packed full of tips for how to succeed this year. Next week, I'm going back into Instagram and telling you how often you should post on Instagram to grow in 2023. You are not going to want to miss that. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. I've been Grahame Farmer. See you soon. Bye-bye.